Ladies and gentlemen, we have technical difficulties, but don't you worry, we will be back right after these messages. Have you ever had a Rice Krispie Square so tasty that you had to have a second? Well, come on down to Kellogg's, where we have Snap, Crackle, and Pop's version of the Christmas Cracker Carol. Goodbye, Lars Anderson. You have disappeared on the video, but don't you worry, he will return. Until then, enjoy these messages continued from Kellogg's that is not sponsoring this podcast, but maybe one day they will. Can't get enough of that sugar crisp. They're great! Haha! I'm sure Lucky Charms has a mascot say something, I just don't recall what it was. Hello everyone, I promise you this is our first attempt at the podcast. This is where we begin.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3 test, LA5. We're back and we're alive. Here we go.
Oh, exciting.
Indeed. Oh, you want to actually give us a quick recap?
Freedom starts in the mind when it comes to us being able to be consciously aware of the starting point. But it actually goes deeper than that. Freedom actually starts in the subconscious mind, the heart, because inside of our heart is all kinds of hidden beliefs that we don't actually know we're acting on. And it's from there that then bubbles up the different thinking, the lines of thought that we then come into agreement with. So it happens on a subconscious level first. And we don't really know what is hiding inside of our heart, inside of our subconscious, until we experience the results of our actions. Then we reassess it. And then from there, when we experience certain results and we backtrack as to like where our line of thought was coming from, that is when we're able to make the switch. Because something is now proven to us. Something that we once thought was true has been proven to be false, and instead, the opposite is embraced as truth. And then that changes our entire future. For example, in 2022, I experienced what it was like to start to lose my fortune of $400,000 that was generated within a year. And within a day, 25% of that was liquidated. And it was because I had leverage in my account. And I never gave the possibility of being wrong. I said, there's no way that XRP is going to come down to that level because that's just unfathomable. They would never go that low. Murphy showed up to the party. And he proved to me that it can go that low. And it did go that low. And in that moment, I lost 25% of my portfolio in a blink.
His law is Swift, which is a dated system.
Nah. And I remember sending a video to my friend Sonny, who also was holding XRP at the time, and we were trying to make sense of the situation and whatnot. And I told him in there, you know, maybe this is actually essential for me to experience. Because you know what? I would rather be spiritually free and financially broke than simply just financially free. And to be spiritually free, that, from my understanding, is to have a subconscious mind that is harmonizing with truths, fundamental truths of how this universe works, and an understanding how to best approach life and circumstances to allow for the best unfoldment of our true lives to take place. Absolute freedom is the result if we are able to act in absolute truth. Because where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we are being transformed into always harmonizing with His Spirit, thus always experiencing freedom as we do that.
Yes.
But it's not that easy when our heart, our subconscious mind, is riddled with false beliefs, illusions that we think are true, but really are completely just an illusion and are stopping us. They're blocking us from actually acting on what's true. And this is where the true value comes in, and this is where freedom finds us, because as we experience the fruits, the results of our decisions, we are able to then expose what is true and what is not true. Going back to the example, I had the notion that I did not have enough. I thought and I was convinced that I needed more because of what vision I had for my future. And I thought it had to go that way. I wasn't leaving room for a different result. I said, this is how it has to be. And so I was coming from the place of, I need more to make this happen. The very thinking of I need more, of I don't have enough, was causing me to go heavy into leverage and to make maneuvers in the markets that no matter what I did, the opposite would have been prosperous. I could change my approach 100 times. I can make different protocols with different indicators and get some really good mathematics. But the moment that I would take an action, the market was acting as though it knew what I was doing and would give me the opposite result every single time. It felt personal.
Yeah.
As if it was a monster waiting for me to make a move and then it would counter me almost instantly. Remarkable. And I'm not the only one that's experienced this. Numerous people, almost everyone that I know has traded charts and assets, they experience the exact same thing. They say the best way to make an asset go up in value is by selling it. And the best way to make it drop even further is by buying it. It's almost like it's constantly testing you. And so in this scenario, I continued to act under this subtle lie of not having enough, believing that I needed more. And I kept on just pursuing the idea of, I just need a different protocol. I just need to approach the market differently. And I ended up losing 95% of my entire portfolio over a 1.5 year period in slow motion. But that was actually a beautiful gift, because what it did is it exposed what's true. Because even in that scenario where I lost $380,000, while also having $100,000 of debt, I then experienced all of the hopes and dreams in my heart that I thought I needed money for, and I wasn't seeking any of them. They just installed themselves seemingly into my life when I had no money and didn't actually need money to facilitate any of them. Proving to me now, in a subconscious way, that I actually do have enough. And I'll always have enough. Because if I have enough right now in this situation for like this incredible life that seems outrageously luxurious, that's the only benefit that money really has, is it gives you luxurious options. But when those luxurious options are given to you despite of distraught finances, it shows how unnecessary vast amounts of wealth really is, even if you want to experience that luxurious lifestyle. So to me, it proved to me on a subconscious level that I always have enough.
Yes.
And then the moment that was proven to me, all of a sudden my financial situation started turning around. I started applying the line of thought that I always have enough, and I was able to see what the market was about to do, and I was able to conduct myself in ways that constantly enriched my portfolio time and time again. And the only difference is I was coming from a place of what's true when it comes to the fundamentals of this universe, as opposed to coming from a limiting belief that was a lie. So I was given freedom by coming into alignment with what's true. And that, I would say, is the most important thing in the world, is coming into alignment with what is true. Because where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. True freedom. And when we act from His Spirit, we experience this freedom. And we are being transfigured into His image and likeness through experience. And that experience is teaching us what is true. He is the counselor of truth, the Spirit of truth, unveiling within us everything that is true about us, about God, and about the universe as a whole. And that is what we're doing here. We're slowly being transformed into truth, and that is slowly transforming us into true freedom. Freedom is the number one thing that matters.
What a crazy roller coaster to have gone through, and to have also, like, it's also so fascinating too because it's speculative earning until you take it out. Like right now, we even want as we ride the wave of Ripple finally taking center stage and moving up. We're riding this new wave as we see finances change. But unless we actually do something where we take it out, it's speculative. It's speculative earnings. We can watch that number go up. Like, what an amazing number to see for yourself. Like, almost 500,000. That's so crazy. Like, that's, to me, at this point, near unfathomable amounts. And to watch it go away as well, that must have been, like, what a crazy... you've told me this story before. It hurts every time for you. Because,
well, the funny thing is, too, is that those were realized gains.
Yeah.
There was $400,000 in a stable coin at one point.
Oh, you put it into the stable. You had it.
And still it was taken away.
Yeah.
Because of my thinking.
Well, now, and let me ask you, now that it's been a couple of years past and you're sitting with a different amount as we rise together on this new wave, do you find yourself with any urge to leverage in long and short?
Zero.
You have
Absolutely
more of
zero.
Is it more just like, now is that because of what you've gone through? So now it's just like, it's more of it, like you lived and learned, or do you just see it actually as not beneficial at all?
Well, it's not even so much that it's beneficial or not beneficial. It's just simply, I understand that I already have enough. And when I look back on all of my trading experience in the last 3 years, had I just stayed out of leverage and I only traded my protocols with the asset, selling into a stablecoin and then buying back again, I'd be a multimillionaire right now. And that's the proof right there.
Yeah.
That had I come from a line of thinking where I already thought that I have enough, especially when I'm going to be compounding it throughout the waves, there's no need for leverage. And yeah, so I'm still making moves. So when there's a cycle top indicated on my protocol, I still scale out. And then when there's a cycle bottom, I still scale in. I'm just not using leverage, and I'm always leaving myself room to be wrong. Because even though my protocol is 100% going back 7 years, that doesn't mean it's going to be 100% going forward. And it is absolutely essential to welcome Murphy to the party. If I try to out Murphy and I don't invite him to the party, he's going to show up through the window. He's going to break the glass and throw a bomb in there or something like that. Might as well just invite him and be able to just say, hey, come and hang out. You can do what you feel like you need to do. I'm prepared for either scenario, whatever you bring to the party.
Yeah. And with this current party, this situation, well, we're in the last 2 days, we've definitely experienced through the asset of XRP the buy the news, sell the rumor. Because everyone was talking Brad Garlinghouse is going to be on 60 Minutes. It's going to be this big event. It's going to be amazing. Everyone's going to finally see that Ripple and XRP are the future. And I saw we went up pretty good, and then we went back down about 60 cents. We were hovering around 310, right? And then right before that interview, we were going up, and it was 372 I saw it go to, and I'm thinking, wow, are we going to hit $4 after this interview? Then that interview dropped. This is interesting because, Mom, I know you'll be listening. I told my mom, make sure to record this interview. We'll watch it when I get home. I can now say to you, LA5, and I'll say to you, Mom, because I know you'll be listening, we don't need to watch that interview because that was not an interview. That was a hit piece. And it was so crazy to see Brad. You could tell they would have actually sat down and had an interview, but they cut around every answer he gave. And I bet Brad Garlinghouse spoke for less than 2 minutes of a 5-minute segment and it's like an hour and a half show. 60 minutes, now 90 minutes. And they made it seem like it was going to be like this big interview that would take up the whole show. It was maybe 5 minutes of the show. He spoke for less than 2 minutes, and they gave most of the time to one of the people who work at the SEC, who is still trying to say crypto is a giant scam and has no place in our financial system. And isn't that interesting? The second that drops, boom, here we go. Went from 372. Last I checked, it was at $3.14. I could see it going under $3. Will it? I don't know. But this is all just like I stated, it's a buy the news, sell the rumor. And they want to scare people out before what's about to transpire and take place. I truly believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it wasn't even just a hit piece on XRP. It was
Crypto in general.
cryptocurrency as a whole.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there was a sell-off in Bitcoin too for the entire
Everything.
market to kind of take that. But you know what's interesting? That's actually making me a lot more bullish for the days ahead.
I agree.
Because that's usually how that works.
Yeah. They want people to sell off of that. And like I I've said to myself time and time again, 2025, that's when I'll sell. Watching it go as high as it did, it's the most money I've ever seen in my own finances. To look at a number and go, wow, that's something I could take out of right now, but then watch it go back down again to still a level like again, even if it went down to $2, I'm still laughing. Like, it's an amazing amount of money. It's like basically what I make in a year still given to me in a month, even if it went down to $2 type situation. But it's like you said, you know what? I feel free, even though I watch it far too much. I watch the charts, but it's you know what though? It's a hobby at this point. I like watching it because I feel like I do learn when I watch it, whether or not like I'm actually picking up on any cues of certain things. But yeah, when I see it go down, I almost get a little bit more excited than when it's going up, because I'm like, oh, it's going to do it's doing its pullback. And it's like, after we went up so high, it needs a healthy pullback. And I think this right here is more than a pullback. This is essentially a hit, like a personal hit. They got the assassins out there trying to take it out, kind of like Trump with the bullet, but it ain't going to be taken out. It's just going to get up, and it's going to fight, and it's going to head back up again. Because there's so much lined up with that company. It is a company it's too big to fail, and they haven't even introduced it yet. You know what I mean? That's how it feels with Ripple, and it's fascinating times. It's very exciting still.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But back to how you said it with freedom. I feel within my own portfolio, I feel so conditioned after so many years of watching it do nothing. Watching it do something, even if in little bits, it's one where, you know what, you could still go down back to like my original levels, and I don't think I'd really be phased, because I'm still going to be, regardless if it goes to 1000x or 10x or it goes to minus 10x now, right? I'm still going to be doing my life, still going to be doing what I'm doing, because I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy doing the construction. I'm making my first movie, and I'm having a blast doing it. I booked 2 major productions this year, one being for a film festival that went on where I ended up working and couldn't go, but I was on the big screen, so I wasn't there to see it, but people were there where they're like, if they knew me, they go, that's Ryan Meinecker, he's on the big screen. Second one was a TV pilot that they're very, we'll use the crypto terms or the stock terms, they're very bullish that it's going to get picked up for streaming. They're very confident in this show that they've produced, and they were very thankful for me being a part of it. It's been a banner year. Take away crypto, it has still been a very freeing and blessed year, because there was a few things that I decided to do with that freedom. One being, I no longer need to be acknowledged by the grander film industry to feel like I'm succeeding as a creative. because I took advantage of my own projects. I was given opportunities not from Hollywood, but from independents who are willing to take a chance on me. And isn't that exactly what we're doing with Ripple as well? It's just, I've seen this year people willing to bet on me, and that makes me feel so blessed and like lucky, and it makes me almost so just feel bullish on the people and the situations that I've bet on as well, because I've bet on my cast and crew to finish my movie. We've run into roadblocks, but even through those roadblocks, some being people's health and some people being people's finances, they still say, I'm going through these troubles and these issues, but we are committed to getting this done. And really, I think that's where you and me can align when it comes to Ripple and XRP. We've seen it go up, we've seen it go down, we've seen it attacked, we've seen it ridiculed and dragged through the ground, but I think we're committed to see this company through because we believe in what they're doing. And we're going to see it to the end. And that's freedom. Because it's faith and trust. And I see faith and trust around me, both in my own decisions and in those who are willing to place their faith in me.
Yeah, I think the ultimate notion is knowing that whatever happens, it's one going to be used to our advantage. And it's going to always allow us to have everything that we need in every single way, whatever that might be, while we become enhanced and upgraded in the process. And so the mind doesn't need any kind of an image to say this is how it has to be. There's simply a trust that is in place and acted on continually, providing an internal knowing that whatever comes, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And it's going to be advantageous, and it's going to be constructive, and it's going to be something that allows us to have our dreams facilitated in the future in the timing that's actually optimal, as opposed to what we think that timing might need to be. And that's where the freedom comes in, because it allows everything to be unconditional when it comes to our circumstances and our situations. It says whatever is happening right now is actually essential, and it needs to happen for my best benefit in ways that I can't even fathom. But I can trust his process because I know him, I know his character, and I know what he wants for me, and I know what he's doing inside of me, which is allowing me to inherit the entire universe, everything in creation, and experience the benefits of all promises of redemption until we experience absolute freedom across the board.
Yes.
And we don't even need to figure it out. That's the best part. The mind is going to want some kind of a path and a map to say, okay, here's the checkpoint. This is, we're going to go here and then turn here and go there and do that. But the fun part is we don't need to know every little check mark or every little path. In fact, it's better if we don't even try to figure it out. It's better if we just recognize what the moment is calling for, because he has already designed our moment to benefit us and lead us in ways that is going to allow us to follow his path for us. So to say I need to chart my path is to say I know better. And there's only one conscious force in the universe that tries to say I know better when it comes to allowing God to lead us. And of course, that would be the Luciferian mindset itself.
Yes.
The epitome of ego, saying I know better. I'm going to do this myself. So that's always the trap.
Yes.
And those are some more traps of hidden little deceitful mindsets that I had in my 20s, where I believed that if I want something done right, I got to do it myself. And I can control the outcome. I just got to put the effort in. That caused the most destruction in my life. But in those moments, in that destruction, I was led into the truth that I don't know best, but I was led to who does. And then just being able to align with his precepts, his character, and his attitude then allows for the dreams and hopes that I was always hoping to accomplish to then just get installed into my life so I can say, he did it. It wasn't me. His authorship and his spirit led me into these experiences, and I had nothing to do with it. Now all the credit goes to him. And that's the entire point anyway, because we are an example of his manifold wisdom. We are the demonstration to every rank and ruler in every dimension of how great he is. It's a pretty good role. I mean, that's a
It's
good
an
deal.
excellent role. I would say so.
Yeah. Yeah, and so being led into a mindset that gives him all the glory, all the credit, and just surrenders how things need to look. That is what brings us freedom. It's trust.
Yes.
It's the trust of being able to acknowledge, recognize, and know him in every single moment. And to just say, I don't know what's next, but I know you know what's next. And I know you're going to lead me into it because you promised me that your sheep will hear your voice and they will follow. And my heart tells me and knows for a fact that I'm your sheep. That's all I need. What else is there?
Just biding time until you find it. That's all there is there.
Yeah, and just constantly purifying my subconscious mind to get rid of all of the illusions, all the false mindsets, so that he can lead me into more of his truth and his true way of thinking. And it's a constant process.
It is. It is. Thank you. That's exactly what it is. It is fun. It's enjoyable to try and figure things out, and it's like figuring out that you don't need to be in control is actually, we could bring it back to just how we started. It's so freeing. It's a freeing feeling to not need that control, to allow yourself to just, it's okay. I don't need to make this decision because it's not my decision to make. And that happens on a daily basis. And there's always something pulling you too. And how many times is it what's pulling you is your ego of some form towards something that is pulling you from the path. And the path that, and it's just like it's just like an exodus going through the desert. If they had just followed God the whole way and they just did as he said, they would have gotten to the land of milk and honey so fast, and they would have been all good. But no, they had to stop and complain. They had to break rocks open that weren't meant to be broken open. They had to make golden calves and worship and sacrifice their children. And why did they do all that? Well, it just seemed good at the time. You were taking too long.
It seemed like the answer at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, and what's crazy is it's not even the fact that it seemed like the answer from the Almighty or from something good. It was something to do because they were bored.
Oh.
Right? As if you think about it, they were impatient. Like 40 years in the desert, that's a long time. But they got so impatient that they decided, I don't want to wait 40 years. I'd rather enjoy myself here and now, which is a very understandable feeling. Wanting to enjoy every moment, every second. But isn't it interesting that when we think about it in an ego sense, it's always like a carnal pleasure. Like, I want to enjoy myself now, so I'll have that second can of cola. I want to enjoy myself now, so I'll stay out late and not get proper sleep, or I'll just choose to be debaucherous when you don't have to be. You can have just as much fun doing the exact opposite of everything that I just said. But you think that you're missing out. I think that's a good one. It's like the fear of missing out leads you to destructive natures. Because it's just like, and isn't that almost like a counterproductive thing where you think you're missing out, but you're actually saving yourself from destructiveness. Yeah. And of course that doesn't mean everything. Here's an interesting one. Have you ever had it? Because we're like in the land of social media, this is a big thing where, you're online and they'll push whether it's targeted ads to go on a trip to the Caribbean, or even you see a friend or a family out on vacation, something of that nature. Isn't it interesting that stuff like that gives you a little bit of a feeling of kind of like, I wish I was doing that. I wish I had that opportunity. I wish I had that experience. And it brings it back to what you said earlier. You think, but I don't have the money for it right now. But why do you have to? It's like that's imprisoning yourself to the idea that you can't be doing those things on your own. You could. You're choosing not to. And then you give reasons and boulders. You keep crushing yourself for reasons on why you can't. Instead of, one, realizing that that's not your experience, that's theirs. You should be happy for them. Oh, I'm glad they got to have that experience. I'll have my own experiences now elsewhere. Or if you truly do feel that's an experience, like you feel it not because of jealousy of what they're doing, but more so out of, oh, wow, it's just like, yeah, that's actually something I've always wanted to do. Take advantage of that opportunity. It's now a light within you. Go do it. Because maybe it's while you're out on that journey, inspiration. And maybe it's while you're out on that journey that so much more can happen for you. Because one that I found fascinating. The second that I started, I'll bring it back to my movie. The second that I built the budget with my mom, we looked down at the budget. I looked at my bank account. I looked at my mom, and my mom says, "You can't afford this." I said, "I know I can't. I'm going to go into debt for this. But it's an investment. I'm putting myself into debt for an investment." And it's one where, like, it's just like, that's a lot of money that I'll have to pay back over the years, or over the course of however long. And I'm like, yeah, but if I keep pushing it off until I have enough, I don't know if it'll ever happen. And then what happens as I start my movie? My car breaks down. I had to put payments into it. All these side things happen where it was thousands of dollars immediately siphoned away, even before I go to camera. So now I'm thinking, well, not only don't I have my savings to go towards the movie, now I'm almost starting at scratch. It's going to be a pure debt hole. Do I wait? I can't do that. I have the motivation. I have the energy, and the singular voice is saying, it is time. Start. Even if you run into things, it'll get done. And I fully believe it's going to get done. We're halfway through now. We end the year with 5 days under our belts. We need about 5 more days to finish it in the new year, and it will get done, and it will happen. But what also happens? Yeah, I go into a pretty decent amount of debt. What also happens? Crypto booms. If I really want to, this movie's paid for 2 times over. If I take from it right now. It's one where the opportunity, even if you feel like you can't, like, finance it, like, that's that right there is the biggest slave, is like, if you feel financially enslaved. And this isn't a me saying if you don't have money, or it's like if you don't have the money you should be doing certain things, but it should never be the reason, like if it's the only reason you don't do things, you'll never do anything. If you're always waiting until you think it's like, the perfect opportunity. It only is a perfect opportunity if you have these levels of financial freedom. And yet at the same time, when you get to those levels of financial freedom, as I have found out recently, you still go, but I don't want to spend it. I don't want to take from it.
Right.
Because it's like, what if it goes higher? Could go lower. I said this recently when I was out to dinner. I was talking about crypto and just the finances, and I said, and I'm still open to the idea that it could go to 0 tomorrow. Because it doesn't matter. We could see unimaginable wealth, or we could see it all go away, all to 0. Because we can believe in this project, we can believe in this coin. There could be one person with more power than us that goes, no. Shuts it down. It's done. It's over. Never see it again. It could happen. I don't think it will. But I've thought things before that were wrong. I've thought things before that were right. I'm just kind of floating right now, because you know what? That's my version of freedom sometimes, is just smiling through the chaos. Because you don't know where it's going to land. And that's the fun part. It's the scary part, but it's the fun part. Is not knowing where things are going to land. Because Again, I got 5 days left. We'll start with the movie. I got 5 days left to film that movie. I got 2 months before I can go back to camera. A lot can happen in 2 months. I don't know what's going to happen with my cast and crew. And I don't mean that in the sense that they wouldn't want to come back and film, but just bless them and their health and their happiness. I hope they all stay happy and healthy. And those who are injured or sick, I hope they mend and are nothing but fierce and ready when we get back. When it comes to the crypto, we don't know. We think we know. We know from what we see, how can we be wrong? But we don't know. I think we are right, by the way. But we don't know. It's a fascinating. We live in fascinating times, and it's just fun to. It's fun to be a part of. Feel blessed to be a part of, because I do feel, with so much chaos happening, it is interesting to feel more free now than I think I ever have in my life.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what do we know? Well, here's something that I feel very strongly that I know, and I feel like you know this too. We have everything we need in this moment right now.
Yes,
There's
we
nothing
do.
missing. Like you probably have a stack of ahas just chilling in the fridge right now, ready to pop, or some kind of equivalent. You got food in the cupboards. You got everything you could possibly need. You have water that just comes out of the faucet that you can drink out of a tap.
That's right.
You want to take a hot shower for as long as you want? You got great water pressure. Doesn't matter. You literally have everything you could possibly need to thrive in this very moment.
That's very true. It's
And I
very
know
true.
that.
Yeah.
And that's there's a lot of freedom in being able to understand that and comprehend the fact that we have everything we need in this moment right now. And that's the only thing we really do know, because we don't know what's next. But when that moment comes, we could still probably come into an acknowledgement and an understanding of saying truthfully and genuinely, I have everything I need right now. This moment right here, I don't need anything different. I can accept this moment as the gift that it is and the abundance of everything that I could possibly need right now. And I can just say thank you. Because if we can come to that place where we just are grateful and we just say, thank you, Father, this is amazing. That is freedom. That is shalom, wholeness, nothing missing. Shalom is a very powerful word. It's not just a greeting of hello and goodbye. It's nothing missing. I'm wishing for you that there will be nothing missing in every single area of your life. That's shalom, wholeness. And we can have that in the moment by understanding that we have absolutely everything we need to thrive in the moment right now.
And that we are blessed. We really are. Because as you said, hot water in the shower, water through the tap, food in the fridge, electricity. We have such a wonderful state of, we're a state of just, if you take a moment to just realize it, you're safe. Like it's, and again, that's a fleeting thing. We can, hey, it can all just go away. But until like, so man, recognize it and enjoy it, because wow, what an amazing thing that we are a part of right now. Just as this, and this is before anything else. Like again, like it's like wow, we could experience this on steroids if things go the way we think they're gonna go, or we keep it like this and it just remains like this, and we're already blessed. So no matter where we go, we're already blessed. We're already in a state of
Blessed.
goodness. We're already in a state of goodness. Look at us smiling.
Right.
You don't really need much more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, how we take in the moment and how we experience each second, that is where I believe true freedom is found. Because if we can be in the state where we are able to receive each second as a genuine gift that we know is beneficial to our future. We know that we have everything that we need to thrive right now. And we know that this is actually an intentional experience that is meant to benefit us in ways that we can't even comprehend. And if we can actually come into that recognition, suddenly we can be in a constant state of appreciation. And that is the most valuable state I can think of, because when I'm in a genuine experience of appreciation, I feel joy.
Yeah.
I have zero worries in the world. I feel so free and at peace and happy. And like, what else is there when it comes to having an emotional experience? Those are all the things that we want to always chase after anyway. That's why we have hopes and dreams, so that we can experience the peace, joy, and appreciation that comes with the experiences. But what if those experiences of those emotional states are always available at all times? It just depends how we approach the moment.
That's right.
It's just the mental approach. And here's the interesting thing. You know how we did that one exercise where we see ourselves smiling?
That's right. Yeah. Excellent exercise.
There's another layer to it that I've been experimenting with that is actually seemingly foolproof. And it works every single time, because for a while there, the smiling wasn't quite enough. It wasn't working. It wasn't giving me a life force injection, what I call like an updraft. And here's the difference. I understand that God's will, our Father's will for us, is for us to have fullness of joy, and for joy to be a continual feast. How? By us being in a constant saturated state of prayer, and thus resulting in a constant state of appreciation, praising Him always, giving Him thanks always. Our mental narrative line of thinking, always praising Him and thanking Him for whatever it is, but in a very genuine way. So if that is His will, and I know that if I have a prayer that's in alignment with His will, I know that He hears me. And if I know that He hears me, I also know that He has already granted it as a reality. It's already done, because He's the giver of every good and perfect gift, and He wants His will experienced in our lives, and His will is for us to be in a continual state of joy and a continual communication with Him, causing the experience of constant appreciation. So what if we just start there? We don't need to ask for things. We can ask for a version of our moment that is in His will of joy and of thanking Him. And how do we ask? By going into the spirit realm. And how do we do that? We use our imagination. So when we are able to just see ourselves in His state, in His spirit, this is to worship in truth, because we are coming into His will for what He wants for us in spirit by using our imagination as the prayer. And then we worship Him in truth by living that moment out in our actual 3D reality. And that is to worship the Father in spirit and in truth, I believe. And here's the methodology as to how I've been implementing this. I can go into my imagination right now, and I can see myself from a third-person perspective. And I see myself smiling, but I also think about my mental monologue in that moment. And my mental monologue is, "Thank you, Father." I think about myself thinking the phrase, "Thank you, Father," while I'm smiling. And when I do this, almost instantly, I feel that upliftment. I feel that little burst of joy. And then I instantly then live out that exact same moment where I'm smiling to the same degree, and now I'm thinking in real time, "Thank you, Father." So it's multi-layered, and it's all done within the mind. It doesn't have to be done with actual words, which means it can be applied in every single moment. Whether it's a conversation or if we're doing something at work, we can always have our mental narrative engaged in this way, thus putting us in a flow state of praising Him and thanking Him and being in His joy at all times. And it works. I've had so many 5 out of 5 days now in a row. It's ridiculous. I had 18 in a row the other time before I became a little bit sick and I didn't get enough sleep and my biochemistry was off. And I just couldn't actually say that it was a 5 out of 5. So I had to give myself a 4 out of 5. I
Yeah.
still felt good, but it wasn't a rad day.
Yeah.
However, the amount of consistent rad days that I've had now since implementing this is phenomenal. And it's exciting because it's an application that takes scripture and makes it real, and it has actual results. Because I believe that if we can be in his presence, that is the best possible thing we can do when it comes to spiritual warfare, because then he fights his battles for us, and we're not supposed to fight those battles anyway. We're going to lose. We're built to be weaker than the principalities when it comes to that. But when it's him that does the battles and we're just in his presence, suddenly they have no chance whatsoever. It's designed that way, I believe, so that we become completely, dependent on him. That's really the point. It's like the two parts of the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is dependent on the conscious mind to give good new information, and then vice versa, give that information out and take action on it. But we need to be dependent on him to give the vision, to give the leadership, just like the groom and the bride. There's a certain level of hierarchy, of dependence there. So that's the one area where codependence is actually a good thing. Mm-hmm. If we're codependent on God, that's a good thing.
Yes.
That's where the actual freedom is found. It's like being codependent on oxygen. Yeah, I'm codependent on oxygen. I need to breathe to live. But it's a different level. And so that application I found has been a breakthrough.
That's just adding the layers. Like, there's always something new that you can add to something already good to help you to experience it on a more enhanced level. It's just fascinating.
Yeah, yes. Enhancing the moment to the optimal version that it can be, and that's simply in a state of thanking him for the moment that has been crafted, that we know every detail is being utilized for our good.
Well, and it's interesting though, because no matter what, as beautiful as that state is, I don't want to use the word stagnation. It sounds wrong, but it's a plateau. So it's just, we are interesting that way as creatures. We become very comfortable very fast in our new situations. It's like anything. It's like we want something so bad, and when we get it, we're like, we got it, yeah. Now what? You know? So even that state, like, of saying, like, seeing yourself smile, you smile, it's a great feeling, but that becomes a state of understanding and compliance, and you need to actually branch out further. And it's not about, I should rephrase it, it's not necessarily about adding, it's actually about learning. You're actually learning more about that state, because you saying, hey, when I smile inside my mind's eye and I makes myself smile, it brings me in this state. What further can amplify that, and why was that amplified? And it's almost like it's like the hologram keeps getting a little bit bigger. It's becoming more defined because you asked that question. New doors have opened, and thus the new door for this situation is the fact of, well, you're already here in my presence, and you don't have to worry. I got you. That's why you're smiling already. You're smiling because you're already with me, and that just amplifies even more. It just keeps moving out. It keeps amplifying. It's building off something already beautiful. And that is exactly what you can do just in everyday life. You can build off what you've already begun. Everything that you do, it's never actually the end of what you've started. There's always something that you can do to build off it in all directions. And even if it's a task completed, no one just stops at, like, it's like you want to clean the house, for example. You want to clean the house. You clean the house. You could stop and you can just enjoy your clean house now. And that's all you have to do. And you're like, this is nice. The house is now clean. Or, in most cases, once it's clean, you're not going to just stand there and stare at it for hours. You're going to admire your job, or some may even just be clean and be done, but you move on to something else. But now you get to do it within this state of cleanliness. You have this gift that you have given yourself of a clean apartment or a clean home. And so now every task you do is now in a presence of godliness, because cleanliness is close to godliness. You are now in a higher state already because of completing that task. And what's interesting is, whatever you started before you did the cleaning of the house, say you kept it in squalor, it was dirty, you still could have done whatever you were going to do after the cleaning. Say you wanted to do something creative, maybe it was even something as simple as reading. But while you're reading, maybe a little piece of dust kind of flickers into your eye, and while you're reading, there's just a little bit more of this. Something simple. It doesn't even have to be big. But isn't it interesting that putting yourself in a base state that makes your surroundings better and clearer and healthier makes anything you do after that just so much superior. Just makes it so much better, and it's so much clearer.
Mm-hmm.
It's building off of something. No matter what you're doing, it's just never stopping and always moving forward and building off of it in a positive direction.
Like the winning effect.
The winning effect. It feels like the winning effect. I'll tell you, every time I clean my apartment, I'm going to stick on this for the example. Every time I clean my apartment, I feel like I've won. Because it just is, fresh, new, back to base level goodness. You know? Because sometimes you let it get out of hand and you're just looking around and you're like, this is not my, it's like I've allowed an energy to take over my space.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna happen no more. It's time to take my space back. And it's interesting how that can happen. And that can happen in any way in life. Because that's also the state of, like the state, and that's if not the state of the ego in reverse, because that's the same thing. The state of the ego can take over whatever you're doing and lead you down a destructive path, because it's now saying it has to be done this way. It needs to be done by getting it, like, follow my path, my inner path that only I see and no one else can touch it. And if someone else tries to give you advice, well, get out of here, because you're now just trying to be disruptive of what I'm trying to do. And that's one of my favorite the things I've learned through film, especially, is every time I'm on set. And this last day I was on set was fascinating, because I said it out loud, and once I said it out loud, I had a laugh, and everyone else was laughing with me. But it's my production. I have so much going on when it comes to when we're filming, that, like, when we're out there, we're in the middle of the woods filming this movie, we're doing a campfire scene, and there was a bunch of props that was just, because it's like I didn't hire a prop master, so it's on me to make sure the props are there. And we're setting things up for the scene, and I'd be like, hey, where's this prop? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, I know I brought it, I'll go grab it. I went and grab it, bring it back. Hey, where's my prop? Right, your prop. I go grab it. I'm thinking to myself, and what's interesting is the night before, I remembered all the props. I remembered to go grab them and bring them. But once we were actually on set, there's so much more else going on. I'm setting up the camera, I'm setting up the actors, I'm just like getting everything lined up. So once it gets to the prop stuff, and then as I run away for the third time, I go, this is why there's so many departments. This is why you hire departments. And everyone starts laughing because they're like, yeah, you're every department. I'm just like, yeah, that's all me. But it's one where in this situation, there was still this little naggy feeling saying, like, whose fault is this, right? Why are these things not here and, like, already organized? And man, that's why you especially gotta laugh, because all I had to do was look in the mirror, because Ryan, it's on you. You didn't ask anyone to grab their props. Like, when we were at the trailers, I didn't say, everyone remember your props. I didn't say anything, so it was all me. Of course, they're doing what they were told to do, which is act. They go out and do their actions, and they all did wonderful. When it comes to that, no complaints at all. When it comes to anything they did, honestly, no complaints at all. I I can't stress enough how lucky I feel when it comes to the people around me with creativity. I love it. I'm very happy. It's very fun. But yeah, I'll tell you, this film has been a test of the ego in a very positive way, because I've been thrown through the ringer with a lot of stuff, and I don't feel jaded by any of it. I feel more of a, it's just like, yeah, you know what? This is good suffering. This is the stuff that makes it. It's like, this is what's gonna make it great in the end.
Right.
Like,
Going through the fire.
Exactly, it's going through the fire, and the footage, man, the footage. It just looks so good. It's a movie, man. It's cool to see a movie come to life. Yeah, because done all the other ones, like the short films and Cloud Van, which is all fun and good, and the stepping stones to what this one is, in a sense of quality.
Interesting.
I look forward for you to seeing it once it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. That'll be it'll be a really neat comparison, because I've seen how far your productions have come with Cloud Van.
Yes.
So if you feel like that's a stepping stone to this one, it's going to be really fascinating to be able to feel the comparison.
Absolutely. Yes, it's going to be very. Yeah, it's your reaction will be a fun one. You'll be watching, and I'm going to be like, just watching you watch it.
Watching you watch it, I've noticed you get a lot of joy out of that, eh? When it comes to like observing the people that are taking in your content.
I do, because I'm hoping that they're enjoying it as much as I've enjoyed it, right? And
Yeah.
I've had it where people watch and they look at me and they're like, I didn't like that, or it's just like, nah, it's not for me. Like you've been very honest with it, because with Please Look Away, I always appreciate you watching it, but I know that's not for you. But you still
Yeah.
always try to find some positive to it, even if it's like one. You always try to find something that is just like, it's like, oh, I didn't like the feeling of that, but I see what you did there. It's just
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. There's always gold.
Yeah, there's always something to it. And you know what? And I guess that's it too. Like, even if they're not enjoying it, if as long as they felt something. I think the worst thing I could ever have is this: is they've experienced it and they just go, "All right, what do you want to do now?" Like just no response, nothing at all. I'd rather them look at me and go, "I hated that. That made me feel like I don't know what that was." I'd rather them say that, because it's just like, okay, I made you feel something, even if you didn't like it, that's fine. But yeah, just a complete uncaring, nah, no thanks. And at the same time, that's their choice. It's not like it would really affect me too much. I just probably wouldn't show them anything else in the future, because it's like, oh, maybe this just isn't for you.
Right.
No. But no, yeah. But that's the point of art, right? To bring joy, to bring experience, to create, to bring something to life that the universe has used me as an instrument to bring something here for others to experience. And so I want them to experience it and enjoy it. And if not enjoy it, at least make them feel something. Yeah.
Yeah, the way I've heard it said a few times is that storytelling allows us to understand ourselves better.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're doing here. We're understanding who we actually are. And it's experience by experience kind of shaping that takes place for us to do that. And storytelling is a big part of it. It shows us who we are and who we are not. And we need both.
We do. Absolutely we do. Because the idea of because through storytelling, like you said, we can start to understand ourselves more too. And sometimes it's not even from necessarily relating on a level where it's like, oh wow, that it was like I saw myself on screen. But you could still say, it's like I was there. It's like it was me. There's nothing about that character that is me, but there's something about it that made me go, I feel that.
I do love relatability when it comes to taking in any kind of a movie or series. If I can relate to one of the characters, I just fall in love with the show because I feel like subconsciously I'm just getting something of value from the show. I may
Absolutely.
not understand what it is, but I just feel captivated. And relatability is a big element.
You know what's a big one recently for me? I went and saw Wicked. Um, Based on it's based on the musical, which is based on the book, which is based on Wizard of Oz, right?
Hmm.
Wow, what a spectacle, my friend! It's a musical, so it's a movie, but it's a musical movie, right? And what talent went into this production? The set design, the costumes, the acting, the singing, the lyrics throughout this. This is a movie that I was thinking this is going to be a woke. It's going to be one of those movies trying to push a message. I'll tell you, if there was a message in there, they did such a good job that it went over my head because I was enthralled the whole way through. It was like a 2.5 hour movie. It's a long movie and to be continued at the end, nonetheless. However, the lead actress who plays the Wicked Witch, the Green Witch, her voice is something just a joy to listen to, and the production value that they give to this theatrical a movie that is it was that if a fun movie, it's fun, it's theatrical, it's big, it goes for it, and it wins. It was a treat to watch. I recommend it. I recommend going to see it. If you need a movie to see in theaters or just enjoy, I would say that would be it. It's very enjoyable. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. I went into it with very low expectation and I came out beyond pleasantly surprised.
Okay, excellent. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you like
I know
Wizard
nothing
of Oz,
about it.
it's did you ever see have you seen Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, a long, long time ago. Likewise. Well, this is it's like a backstory to Wizard of Oz. It's like, this is what, you know how like there's the good witch and the evil witch, right? This is about them before they become those titular characters.
Interesting.
Yes. Interesting enough. Yeah, it is like where it's like, okay, these characters, do they need backstories? I'm glad they gave it to them. Because it is respectable stories. They're fun. Yeah. And again, I can't stress enough the singing. I'm not one for musicals. I'm usually kind of I don't
Same way. I get it.
right. I'm I don't care. But this one, it really had me just invested. Where I'm just yeah, all right, yeah, another song already. Sure, let's do it.
I accept.
Yeah, I just accepted it. I accepted the experience. It was like when we went and saw Fast X or whichever one it was, and
That's the
we're
one.
this is so dumb, but you know what? We're going with this experience, and we had fun in it.
Oh, it's great.
Yep, I would say this one's smarter than that one, but in the sense of experiencing just fun, just in giving yourself to the experience, I would say it's very relatable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I
Indeed.
look forward to it.
Yes. Watched another
Have you seen
movie recently.
Twisters?
Twister? No, is it good?
It's my favorite movie of all time right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember
I got
watching the original.
biases.
Of course.
And the neat thing about the original is they do kind of like Top Gun and Top Gun 2, how there's similar elements to the algorithm as to how it all plays out.
Right.
However, they play off of that and intentionally switch it right when you think that that's following the same algorithm.
Oh, nice. That's good. So they keep you on your toes.
Yeah.
I like
And
that.
it's great. Yeah.
Okay,
no,
cool.
all the elements are there for me.
Good.
For one, I love tornadoes, and the visuals look amazing when it comes to tornadoes. And the character development is very dynamic. There's no static characters. And at the same time, there's nice little wisdom nuggets in there that can be collected along the way that helps show the nature of the universe in a very beautiful way.
Oh, I like that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And there's comedy. It's funny too, and it's fun, and it's neat, and it's engaging, and there's a little bit of a romance to it. And I like a good romance story.
Absolutely.
Just like nice and subtle in the background.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was one that's It was in theaters, and I'm like, do I want to see a sequel? But hearing your recommendation, I'll just give it a try.
If you feel it,
Yeah, well, I
chase
liked
it.
the original. Same thing with kind of like what you said. I like twisters. I like watching tornadoes. I don't want to be near one, but I like watching it. Like, because like, what a
Yeah.
fascinating elemental event. So crazy.
Yeah. I know. One day I still want to see a twister.
It would be cool to see one in person,
Yeah,
and
they
at the
have they
same
have
time.
companies that do that.
Yeah.
Storm chasing companies. You tag along for 2 weeks in
Wow.
like a van, stay in motels every night,
Wow.
chase supercells. Awesome.
That sounds like a good time until it's not.
Yeah, not many people share that dream with me.
Right. Well, yeah, growing up in Manitoba, I remember one time, only once, there was a tornado warning. I remember there being a tornado warning. And it actually touched down, and there were people I know who said they saw it. I never did. But there were people I know who said they saw the tornado touch down. And apparently it was a very quick touchdown, like hit the ground and went back up. But fascinating. Just that. But that's the prairies, right? It's like going down through the Bible Belt of the States. It's all just that central open plains area where the winds can pick up into supercells, you call them. Yeah, fascinating stuff. What's the craziest storm you've ever been caught in?
Well, I have seen lightning storms where every 2 seconds there's a new strike, and that goes on for minutes, over 10 minutes. Every 2 to 3 seconds there's a new strike. That
Wow.
was intense, and I loved it. It was so amazing.
I bet. Where was
Other,
that at?
yeah, it was Prince George actually,
Okay.
oddly enough, and it happened at midnight. And so the first thing I did is I went out to the lake where there's a really nice chair on a dock, and I just sat there. And there was trees around me that were a lot taller, so I didn't feel like I would get struck. I would be a very improbable target. But yeah, it was still risky, of course. Even if that tree gets struck, there could be a fork that comes off. But I didn't feel in danger. It was all mostly horizontal lightning just up top. It was just happening at all times. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Now it's gonna rain really hard. Okay, let's go in the hot tub. And I watched it from the hot tub. And that was dangerous too. But you know what? It was awesome.
I was about to say, sitting in a hot tub with a lightning strike. Get the jets on.
Yeah, I don't think there's any underground piping though that it could travel through. Like I've heard it can even go through telephone wires if you're on the phone during a lightning storm. It'll just come right through the lightning. And back in the day when there was corded phones.
Jeez.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I love storms. I find them very captivating. It's exciting. It's engaging.
Yes.
And some good wind storms. Like I remember one time I was hiking and it was sun and cloud all day. Then we got to the top and it was probably another good 2 hours to get back. But then we remember I was joking with Chad and I'm like, oh man, wouldn't it be great if like a thunderstorm came? An hour later, after doing like some breathwork meditation up there, I turn around and there's a huge thundercloud on its way. A big cell is on its way towards us and we can see lightning in the distance. We're like, wow, we got to get off this mountain. And it overtakes us within like half an hour.
Crazy.
And the wind is just intense and lightning is coming in. But we ended up going into a cave, like an overhang basically, that allowed us to see this cloud come into the valley. And you could almost hear the soundtrack behind it, like it was Lord of the Rings kind of a soundtrack
Yeah.
of like a battle scene coming in.
I love it.
And like the volume of the light of the thunder was so incredibly loud. There was no bass to it. It was all just high frequency pitch, like dynamite basically.
Oh,
And it was so loud. But it was exciting. It was hair raising. I think my hair was standing up on end at one point, and that was kind of concerning because that's when you know you might get hit.
yeah. No kid.
But thankfully that never happened. So yeah, there was grace in that situation, big time. We're on
Indeed.
top of a pretty big mountain, granite, a lot of quartz. Yeah, a lot of things could have gone wrong really quickly.
I'm glad they didn't. No kidding.
Me too.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Been caught in a few blizzards that were pretty intense. Those are, there's something about blizzards that are both just, they're beautifully haunting. Because the sound of the wind being so aggressive and just seeing nothing but a wall of white falling in front of you. It's terrifying, and just at the same time, if you just like sit and are just in it, you're like, wow, that's just hauntingly beautiful is the way to describe it. I remember taking my dog out because the dog had to go to the bathroom and putting on like all the layers and walking out into it and just it smacking me in the face. And just, I remember dropping down onto my knees and like huddling into myself. Just 'cause I was cold. And two, it was just one of those ones where the body just said, just do it. You'll enjoy it. And I did. And then the dog just comes and sneaks up underneath me. And now I'm holding the dog and we're staying warm. Then we're like, all right, we better go. We head back inside. But yeah, blizzards, man. Those can be pretty wild.
Yeah, and more dangerous in my opinion because, I mean, that's hypothermia potential right there pretty easily if you're not dressed for it.
Oh, there was I want to say it was either 2014 or 2015. 14. It would be 20. I take it back. 2013. In the New Year's of 2013, I remember going home to Winnipeg from here. It was my first year here. Went home to Winnipeg. And there was a blizzard and on New Year's, and I was at my buddy's place and we're celebrating, and the news comes on and they say that it is the coldest winter on record, the coldest blizzard. If you're outside for longer than 15 minutes, you're basically dead, so don't go outside. And it was colder in Winnipeg than it was on the surface of Mars.
Oh, I heard
That's how
something
cold
about
it
that.
was. That's how cold it was. Yeah. Just crazy to
Seems
think
outrageously cold.
It does, right? And at the same
It's like
time,
out of this world cold.
Oh, according to them, it was.
But KG3, I got to get going. I got another call coming in. A friend of mine needs help with his crypto. And
Well,
I think what he
you need to
did
get
was,
to him.
yeah, he lost it in transit. He didn't use a destination tag, I think.
Oh no! Is it now? Do you
So
think you'll be able to help him? I hope so.
Well, last time I did that, it was simply just the company that it got sent to had to figure it out. And it took about, I don't know, 5 weeks or so, but finally made it. I don't know if that's the situation. He's going to call me and I'm going to walk him through. Or he's going to walk me through what he did. And I doubt there's anything I can do, but yeah, that's happening in 1 minute from now.
Well, I hope that I hope there's something you can do and you can help him out. But LA5, another good chat, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Till next time.
You as well. Till next time.
Cheers, buddy.
KG3.
LA5.